Masayoshi Son is here. He is the founder, CEO, and chairman of SoftBank Corporation. SoftBank is one of Japan's largest mobile carriers and one of the world's largest tech companies. In 2013, it acquired Sprint for almost $22 billion. It also has stakes in over 1,000 other companies, including Yahoo Japan and Alibaba. Forbes recently estimated his net worth at $18.4 billion. That makes him the richest man in Japan. I am pleased to have him here at this table for the first time. Welcome. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much.
You're going to speak to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce
Yes.
this week in Washington.
Yes.
What are you going to tell them about the wireless revolution?
Well, I would say that the mobile internet, the internet highway, is the most important infrastructure for the 21st century. To me, it is so clear than any other infrastructure that's more important for the 21st century. However, U.S. is number 15 in the world. When someone did the survey, out of 16, number 15. So only
in
country
terms of what measurement?
Speed.
Speed.
LTE speed.
Right.
Okay. So the only company U.S. beat was the Philippines.
They beat the Philippines. But
Yes.
They didn't beat South Korea. They didn't beat Japan.
No. Many other countries, the U.S. was beaten. So, is it good enough situation for the 21st century? The most important infrastructure, U.S. is lagging behind, and U.S. has been number one for infrastructure almost for anything in the 20th century: automobile, the electricity, the television, almost everything.
And you believe that is because two carriers, Verizon and AT&T, have more than 60% of the market.
Yeah, more than 75% on postpaid,
Yes.
and more than 80% for corporate market.
Right.
So
and they are stifling innovation, in your judgment?
they are happy with where they are. They make a ton of money, and free cash flow are all dividend back to the shareholders. So they are very comfortable where they are, which I don't blame. If I were on their shoes, I would be happy. But because they are in such a happy position without facing a real competition from some strong enough challenger, they can relax.
Okay, so you bought Sprint,
Yes.
a carrier,
Yes.
and now you want to buy T-Mobile.
If we could, but we have not agreed any formal agreement.
You haven't made an agreement with T-Mobile?
Not yet.
What are your chances?
I don't know. We have to give a shot.
Is it money or is it something else? Is it?
Well, I'm not here to talk about any detail of that situation.
Why not?
Well, look, in general, we have to say.
You have to make a deal.
Yeah, we would like to make the deal happen, but there are steps and details that we have to work out.
Tom Wheeler is chairman of the FCC, and he has suggested that he wants to make sure there's a lot of competition in the market.
Right.
And so he's not in favor, generally, in mergers between, say, Sprint and T-Mobile, and you own Sprint. So therefore, you'd have a huge position in the American market.
Yeah. Well, look, there is two big duopolies.
Yes.
Right? And they take more than 100% of total industry free cash flow. Total industry's profit, they are concentrated to have 90%. So here comes the two little ones who are not able to fight without enough scale. So that's no good. And I think the situation needs to be changed.
Assuming you could make a deal and had Sprint and then T-Mobile, what would you be able to do as a carrier in the United States?
Well, look, we need a certain scale, but once we have enough scale to have a level fight, okay? It's a 3 heavyweight fight.
Right.
Right?
Well, you
Then,
like that, don't you?
Yeah, I would like to have the real fight, okay? Not the pseudo fight,
Right.
the real fight. If I can have a real fight, I go in more massive price war, right? The technology war.
That's your pattern. When you get a stakehold, you undersell everybody.
Yes. Yes.
You're willing to postpone profits in order to gain market share.
Exactly. I want to be number one, right?
Yeah.
So if we were number 3, and if we had enough chance, okay, I want to be number one. So I would go, price competition, very much aggressively, and network competition to create a world best network. I told you now, U.S. is number 15 out of 16.
Yes.
I'm ashamed of that. I'm not here not to criticize U.S. situation. I'm here to say I now own the part of the responsibility, and I would like to provide U.S. citizens the world number one network.
Let me go back to Japan. What was it like growing up in Japan, the son of Korean and Chinese ancestors?
It's not easy. It's not easy. Japan is a homogeneous, race country.
Yes.
One culture with one race. So if you are considered outsider, it's not easy. But nowadays, I stick up enough so people know that I am, just myself.
And then at 16, you came to San Francisco.
Yes.
Made your way to Berkeley, University of California at Berkeley.
Yes.
And then you graduated. What did you want to do when you got out of Berkeley?
Well, I wanted to start my own company. So when I was a student at Berkeley at 19 years old, I already started a small company.
Yeah.
And made the first electronic dictionary.
Yeah, dictionary first.
Yes.
Yes. And
Pocket
translator and
yes,
dictionary.
Yes.
And then sold it
To Sharp.
to Sharp.
Yeah, for $1.7 million. For a 19 years old kid, it's not bad.
Not bad.
Okay? And I did another computer game project, made me another $1.5 million. So I got a little over $3 million when I was 19. That was a good seed capital for myself.
Yes.
I never used the venture capital.
Yeah.
So
You never went out and raised money, but you had the money yourself. That's better because you don't have to. The fewer partners you have, the better off you are.
well, if you could succeed, yes.
Yeah. If you can get by without their capital.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you go back to Japan?
Right after I graduate, I went back to Japan because I promised to my mother that as soon as I finish my college, I will be back to Japan. So I kept my word.
Yeah. And then you began your march to where you are today.
Yes.
Yeah. You seem to have done it by two things. Not only your own company, but investing in other companies.
Yes.
I mean, you've had a keen eye for what might be a successful investment.
Yes.
Yahoo Japan.
Yes.
I mean, this is the most recent one, Alibaba.
Yes.
Alibaba is going to be a huge payday for you.
Yes. Yes.
That'll be one of the largest IPOs around.
Yeah. Yeah. We are lucky. We are lucky. Well, you need a luck once in a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your heroes were Mr. Honda and Mr. Morita,
Yes,
who formed
exactly.
Sony. You like them because?
Because they have a passion, they have a vision, and they're founders of a huge brand. Because they are pioneer. They pioneered electronic industry, they pioneered automobile industry in Japan, fighting with incumbents, not helped by the government, but they made themselves.
You admire Bill Gates and Steve Jobs a lot.
Yes.
Steve Jobs you thought was what?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, with the art and technology combined.
Yeah, the design and the engineering as well.
Yes.
He saw with Johnny Ives,
Yes.
understood how to do that.
Yeah. So in 500 years later, people would compare Steve Jobs with Da Vinci. That's my view.
And when he went looking for somebody a carrier in Japan for his iPhone, you said, me.
Yeah. That was 2 years before he introduced iPhone.
Yes.
So I said, if I would enter into the mobile business, mobile carrier business, I need a weapon. And who can create the best weapon in the world? I said, it's only one guy, Steve Jobs.
So did you call him up or did you go see him?
I called him up and went to see him. And I brought my little drawing of iPod with, mobile capability.
Yes.
And I gave him my drawing, and Steve says, Masa, you don't give me, Masa, you don't give me your drawing. I have my own. Don't give me your
don't need
crap.
your drawings, Masa.
Yeah. I said, well, I don't need to give you my, a dirty paper,
Yes.
but once you have your own product,
Yeah.
give me for Japan.
Yes.
And he said, well, Masa, you are crazy. We have not talked to anybody, but you came to see me as the first guy. I give to you.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you walked away with as the carrier in Japan that will be affiliated with the iPhone.
Right.
There was-
Before I acquired Vodafone Japan.
Before you got Vodafone Japan.
Yeah. So I said to him, if you can give me exclusively for Japanese market, that would be fantastic, right? And so I said, write it down, sign for me. And he said, no, Masa,
No, Masa.
Masa,
No,
I'm
Masa.
not going to sign for you because you don't even own the mobile carrier yet. I said, well, look, Steve, you promised
Give me
me, you
time.
give me your word, I bring a carrier for Japan.
And you did.
I did. I spent $20 billion.
Now, there was some concern as to whether the Japanese consumer would like the iPhone. They had their own. Why did you think it would?
Well, it's the industry's technology direction, right?
Yeah.
Because before iPhone, most of the handset were just the crappy, handmade software without operating system, so that not so many standalone application software could come as a platform. Like a PC, this is the internet device that you can carry around. So it's not mobile phone, it's an internet machine. That's my view. And he's only the first guy who could create a device with operating system so that it will be a platform for every applications for surfing the internet.
So Bill Gates, you also know Bill Gates and admire Bill Gates.
Oh, very much. Both of them are my heroes.
Now, why do you think Bill Gates missed so much
Well, he had such a fantastic success
with the operating
PC,
system, with the
with
software
operating system for PCs.
Right.
And when you are so successful in one thing, you have something to protect.
Yeah.
Right? So it's very difficult to cannibalize. And he was retiring from the company. He no longer had the passion to go on to the next generation.
He had other things he wanted to do in terms of philanthropy. Someone once said to me about Steve that, unlike others, he saw everything with a beginner's eye.
Yes.
He saw it with a freshness so that he would start from the beginning. So therefore, he wasn't encumbered by the way it had been.
Right. He doesn't care anybody else idea. He had to create himself from the pure eye of not the past for the future.
Yeah.
So that's what I admire the most. And he has tremendous focus.
But are you more the financial guy who understands how to make a deal, but also understands how to find the companies that you want to make a deal about, rather than being a creative guy?
Well, if Steve is art and technology,
Yes, you are.
I am finance and technology.
No art there.
Well, I love art, but I'm not the artist for the industry. Well, but to me, what's more important is information revolution. That's more important, to create a new lifestyle for mankind. Okay, if I can help, bringing information revolution to mankind, I don't have to do everything. I can bring everybody else's talent. I can bring the infrastructure.
You bring the roadway that they come.
Yeah, I don't have to create a Ferrari or a Honda. Okay, I can create a highway, right, for all the beautiful automobiles. I can create the toll gates. I can create the entire ecosystem for the automobile revolution. So that is what I am trying to do. I am bringing information revolution. But for these internet devices, the highway itself as an infrastructure is not good enough. That is a big problem. That was a big problem for Japan. So I challenged NTT because NTT had 99% market share for Japanese, information highway.
When you challenged them, did they give you some fiber lines or something?
Yeah, I asked the government to deregulate so that unbundle of the copper and fiber against the services. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you want to create an information revolution and want to create information highway, you need a lot of capital. That require a lot of finance. Okay. So, money is not the most important thing to me, but money is required to invest a huge tens of billions of dollars capex.
Let's talk about the landscape there first. My impression is you want to be the biggest in the world, period.
That's my wish.
That's your wish. Okay. Fair enough. There are also people who believe, Google is laying a lot of fiber in the United States. They want to provide the highways too, the infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
They've got designated markets where they're. There's also Comcast now buying Time Warner. John Malone wanted to be part of that. Who knows? Maybe Comcast will buy John Malone's company. Is it going to be the telcos, or is it going to be the cable companies?
That's a very good question. So this is a very, very capital-intensive industry, and emerging from the wireline broadband information highway and the wireless information highway, right? And guess what? This kind of device, right, can get connected with a backhaul of wireline broadband or wireless broadband. Either way, the iPad is iPad, right? So what people care is how the iPad or iPhone can function smoothly
and fast.
Right? So in the past, only fixed line broadband could provide high-speed internet for this kind of device. But now wireless is becoming very powerful, that it will be an alternative.
And that's the revolution right there, what wireless is able to do without the fiber being down.
Right.
And so therefore that raises the question too, of the velocity of wireless and how good it is. Because, you've complained about the carriers here in terms of that not only are they not innovative, but you say they got faulty systems.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very slow network, and it gets disconnected all the time, and it's poor quality. It's just a poor quality, and I think there is a way to fix it.
How would you fix it?
Well, first I need a scale. Right?
Scale
of a company, scale of a subscriber, scale of the network.
You have to have enough size to compete with the big boys.
Right. Yeah. I need to become a heavyweight.
Right.
Right. It's a heavyweight fight.
Exactly.
Right?
It is.
I cannot be tiny mosquito.
No,
right?
that will not work. Right. They will squish you.
Right. And they would ignore us.
Yes.
Right. So that they can stay profitable and big fat. Right? So I want to make them fight back, so they also become a muscle instead of fat, and which is good for.
That's called competition.
Yes, that's good for United States. Yeah. But I want to show them our technology, which we have, which is much more faster speed, up to 200 megabit per second. So this is much faster than fixed line broadband.
Right.
Okay. We have the technology for that. We have
your wireless is faster than fixed line broadband.
Yes. We already have that demonstration in Tokyo.
Okay, Tokyo's fast.
Yes. I can do that in the state also.
Seoul is fast.
Yes.
Where is it the fastest in the world? Japan and South Korea?
Yeah. Australia to some extent, but not enough users. So actually with the crowded user, Japan and Seoul is the top two.
You also now have this giant battle between operating systems Android and Apple.
Yes.
Which is better?
Well, Apple is like a Ferrari, right?
It's like a Ferrari.
For high-end users, it's beautiful, it's good, right? And actually for many users also. Right. Android is more general, right? For many other countries who cannot afford a high-end product, Android is more variety, right? So both of them have a good features.
So one's not better than the other. It depends on what they can do for particular kinds of customers.
Right.
Yeah. Because Samsung is serious about this.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think of Samsung?
Oh, Samsung is a great company. Great company. Yeah. They're going to succeed. They're going to continue to grow up.
How did they do it?
Well, they have so many technology widths and depths, from semiconductor to the chip, the LCD displays, and all these things. They have total technology, and they have a passion to make success.
Take me back to the dot-com bust. What happened to you?
Well, our share price went up and up, and one time, I was for 3 days richer than Bill Gates.
Is that right?
Yeah.
For 3 days.
For 3 days.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. And Larry Ellison was actually for a couple of days richer than Bill Gates.
Oh, could be. Yeah.
Right. But you were there for 3 days.
Yeah. Our company.
Did you tell everybody when you were the richest man in the world?
I didn't. It was too short.
So, here I am. I'm the richest guy in the world.
Yeah. Before I said it, our share price went down. So
before you got a chance to tell them,
right.
It was over.
Yeah. So for 3 days we were $200 billion in market cap.
For 3 days, 200
billion
in market cap.
Yeah.
And then came the crash.
Right.
And what were you after the crash? At the bottom of the crash?
$2 billion.
$2 billion. So you went from 200 to 2.
Yeah, 99% down in 1 year.
99%. And your net worth went from what to what?
From $70 billion to $600 million.
Really?
Yeah.
And did you have any doubt that you could come back?
Well, I had a confidence, it's when it overshoot and overshoot down. So I had a confidence that someday it will normalize, because our number of users kept on growing, our profit kept on growing. So it's overreaction, either up or down. So it will normalize over time. That was my belief. And internet will continue to grow. So as long as internet users continue to grow, the traffic continue to grow, it will come back. That was my view.
Someone said to me the other day, Google is going to be the biggest company in the world. Mark my word. Are they right?
There is a good possibility for that. But, when IBM had such a glory, people said, IBM, that's it. And then when Microsoft had the glory,
they said, Microsoft.
Microsoft forever.
Yeah.
Now Google has that kind of position. But who knows, 30 years later, 30 years later, and 300 years later, what's going to happen?
You know what they call that, as you well know, disruptive technologies.
Yes. They are definitely disruptor, smart people, great engineers, and great vision. So they are one of the most capable company. That's
Google.
No question. Yes,
Yeah.
Google, no question. And I have a high respect on them. But, as I said, technology evolves. And no one technology continues to grow 300 years.
Apple still has Tim Cook,
Yes.
Eddie Q,
Yes.
Johnny Ive, and others.
They are a great company also.
Hasn't changed.
No, great company.
And they were really running it while Steve was sick, too.
Yeah. They're a great company. Those two companies, high respect. Of course, Amazon and, Facebook.
Jeff Bezos is a little bit like you. He likes to get market share, doesn't he?
Right.
He's willing to cut prices to get market share.
Right. He's very smart. Very, very long-term view.
What did you think of the Facebook acquisition of WhatsApp?
Very smart move.
Really?
Very smart
So
move.
you would have paid $16 billion, too. if you had Facebook's 1.2 billion users?
Yes, yes. I would have no a doubt for one moment. I would go straight.
What's your negotiating philosophy about things like this? You know, if you can figure out if it's worth it, then get it.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you have to pay the top price and outbid everybody else,
Right.
if you can see the potential, just do it.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm looking at the future, not the past, not present. In 10 years, in 20 years, what can we do if we, get more power?
So here's what they say about you too. They say not only that you want to be the wireless infrastructure and have the world's biggest carrier, but you also want to be in content.
Yeah, contents, application, the service, those are the fruit and flowers on the basis of the platform. So we want to provide the platform, which is the infrastructure, and then we want to help grow those bunch of different flowers and fruits. That's our view. So it's like John Malone's cable
Broadband.
company with Liberty Media.
Video is really where the world is too,
Yeah.
in terms of wireless.
Yes.
I mean, you can see everything, do everything
Right.
with enormous power now.
Exactly.
It's not just the internet. You're interested in solar. You're interested in wind. You're looking at those as future technologies that will change the world.
Yeah, well, that was not my initial, interest at all. It came only because of the earthquake, in Japan, 3 years ago. And without electricity, the internet does not work. The communication
that's
does
true.
not work, right? And all the Japanese people are suffering from the shortage of electricity.
And what did you decide about nuclear as a result of that?
I don't believe nuclear is a long-term solution. I'm against.
You are.
That's why I'm trying to provide alternative solution as a solar or wind.
It's not just a business decision. You think it's in the best interest of Japan.
Of the people for the Japan, and for the world.
What do you think of your prime minister?
Well,
Mr.
he's a smart guy. I don't agree everything what he's doing.
What don't you agree?
Don't give me that position. I'm going to have a trouble back in Japan if I say comments on that kind of questions.
But you think he's too nationalistic?
Well, he can be much more, how do you say, balanced.
Balanced. Than he is.
Yeah.
You'd like to see him more balanced.
I hope he would have, at least people would see him in much more balance.
Yeah.
At least he's not perceived as the balanced situation. That is no good for him, no good for the country.
We live in a global world. But do differences in culture matter?
For me, internet is already connected worldwide, right? So the politics, the government divide the barriers between the countries. But in the digital world, there is no boundary. We can travel around the world in less than 1 second. Okay, so people can communicate each other, meet the face each other over the internet, instantaneously. So the world would be much more peace with peace when we, forget about all these frictions and so on.
What else are you interested in that I don't know about?
Well, to me, this digital revolution is the only thing that I put my life. This is the only thing that I am so excited about. That mankind had the agricultural revolution, industrial revolution, and then this is the third one, that is information revolution. And that is not a small subject. This is the subject that will last next 300 years. That's why, I say we have a 300-year vision, that we want to focus this information revolution, and the technology evolves. So, as I said, I don't care what technology, I don't care about this technology is invented by us or our employees, I don't care. I want to bring everybody's innovation, bring into our ecosystem together. So many American companies are interested in one brand, one business model to conquer all over the world. Okay, I'm not that kind of guy. I believe in partnership. Yeah. We do many joint ventures. In my view, investing into the entrepreneurs, help them grow their passion in their way. This passion, that passion. If I can assist to all these exciting entrepreneurs, come up with great technology or services, I will be more than happy. I don't need to be a hero. I would rather them be a hero in the total ecosystem that we create. That is my 300 years vision. I don't depend on one product, one business model, or one brand. I would rather be a Silicon Valley. They are my partner, of course.
Right.
But what I am interested in creating, I respect Silicon Valley, all the passion, all the things happening. So I want to create a virtual Silicon Valley in a SoftBank group, families, that our many brands, come and bring the synergies.
Yeah.
Right?
Synergies, and they'll all be entrepreneurial and develop
Yes.
new ideas.
Yes.
And you'll get in social media as well?
One way or the other, yes. Yeah, one way or the other.
Thank you for coming. Masa, it's good to see you.
Thank you very much.